let's go to the Ethereum dashboard I created. So what's happening on Ethereum? Okay. So this is the dashboard I created also. So this is my username here. This is the title I gave it. What is happening so far, right, on Ethereum? So for those of us that have like open the dashboard, you can just then like go see all that thing. So now if you notice now, the first thing I did, I put the logo of Ethereum here. I downloaded it. I dropped a link to the site. Then I gave a title, Ethereum Activity Dashboard, and also I got my data from Ethereum.transaction. What is this data all about? Analysis of networks. You can see analysis of what? Network activity over time, highlighting five key insights, like highlighting key insights using five KPIs. KPI stands for key performance indicators. Just like once you open your bank account, you want to know your account balance, how much I've left, like the credit alert you received. Those things are key. Not all informations are key, right? We have important information. So once I just scroll down now, you can see my dashboard, some few charts, and I always gave like a explanation of each chart. Don't worry, you might not really need this. Why? I work with beginners a lot, and my goal is to make everything very simple for you to understand and very easy. So, like notice, once you see this chart, what's the chart? Tracking Ethereum network activity for the last 30 days. All right, I will scroll down now and you see. Then now, I do not just give a chart and leave. I give one. Why? I'm coming from like a data analysis background. Many of our clients are not tech savvy. You're the one that understand the code. They don't understand the code. So you giving them charts is not enough. You being able to communicate your insight. That's another section we're going to be having in the third class. You knowing how to communicate your dashboard. Many people don't even know the value of analysis until you are able to present yourself. That's why I titled this this training as the business of on-chain analysis. Some people know the code, like they don't know how to position themselves. Some people know how to position themselves, they don't know on-chain analysis. So that's why for those people that are going to register for our training, we have a whole lot to cover, right? All right. So this is the chart. From this chart now, we can see this is known as a column chart. All right. If you notice here, we have July 20th, July 24th to August 17th. Why? Last 30 days activities of Ethereum. So this is a price now. So on Dune Analytics, once you move your mouse to a chart, you're going to see more details of the chart, the transaction. So on July 20th, we had like 633,000 transactions on Ethereum. And on July 21st, the next day, we have like over 1 million transactions. All right. So my explanation is this now. This measures, now I'm trying to explain this chart to everybody now. This measures the daily activities on Ethereum. It shows if activities is rising or falling. And this helps spot spikes caused by trending meme coins, protocols, and each of these transactions is somebody using what? Ethereum. My English is plenty. Why? I'm working with some non-tech service clients that wants me to really explain what the chart is all about. I'm teaching people that might not understand what this chart is. So I'm trying to now bring more context to my chart. All right. So the next chart I have here is this now. We have unique active address per day. So just like I said now, this identifies the busiest wallet on Ethereum. It shows which users or bots drive activities. It's useful for detecting waits, whales, bots, or DeFi-like users. So if you notice, these are what? Unique active addresses. Just like if one person buys a token 100 times, like we're going to be counting like 100 people use your project. But when you use unique active address, that means that one person, like whether he trades 100 times or not, is just going to be counted as once. Then the next person, so that we will be able to understand how many users we have, not just the amount of transactions we have. All right. So yeah, we have the top 10 most active senders. Unlike Ethereum, we have what? The top 10 most active senders on like Ethereum. So their contract address are here. This tracks how many different wallets send transactions daily. Okay, so it It's just a proxy for us to know the adoption and the real users, and if it's stable, if the users are stable or they are what declining. Okay, the last few charts we have here is what accumulating transactions, tracking Ethereum long-term growth. So this is August 2025, sorry 2015. Ethereum launched and they went up in 2017, came down in 2018, went up again. So right now we can see that what Ethereum as of August 2025 year has a monthly transactions of 46 million. Okay, and it's hitting an all-time high from what I have here. Then average gas prices per day. This shows how expensive it is to transact on Ethereum. Okay, gas fees in cost to users experience. If gas is high, smaller users get what priced out. All right, so you notice like in the last 30 days, the gas price of Ethereum fell, it went up, it fell. To you now, this data might not be important. To a developer, it's very important. To an investor, is very important. To a founder, is very important. To investors, is very, very, very what important. All right. So that's another thing. Knowing the right people that will appreciate your skill set is very important. Some people think they need to change skill set, not knowing that it's not just you need to just change the people that are looking for your skill set. These skill sets are for kings, right? So that's what we're able to be able to use it for. People that are leaders. And as I said in the last class, the person at the gate does not need to know the growth or the charts. It's only at the end of the month his company is paying his salary, right? The receptionist and several people in the company might not really need it, but the leaders that are making decisions daily, as I said, like a data analyst is a decision maker, right? So you're more of a decision advisor. Based on this insight, that's when a company that wants to have a breakdown on their tokenomics will be able to work. Should we launch this coin? Should we buy this project? Should we partner with this project? What is happening? Is our protocol growing or not? So you're just going to be answering questions based on what? On-chain data to now. So we have all understood the basics. First of all, I shared my slides showing you about what Dune Analytics is. And now we have gone to see what data is required on Dune Analytics. And I showed you a project I've worked on, the Ethereum project. And I also shared it with the community on X and also to I'm here to work. Okay. Okay. Let me buzz the group again. Some people are just getting home now, and they have been. Let me just buzz the group to get more people's attention. Since I'm going to be showing the queries now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Ellery, don't mind. This ghost people here. Oh, hey. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we're good to go now. So the query point, that's where we are now. I said today's for practical. My phone is I have a whole lot of activities happening on chain. You're the one that said you want to learn on chain analysis. So your work is much more important and vital. Like in the sense that if a content writer just instead of using blue, use red in their content, it's not going to shake anything. But you, as an analyst now, like the transactions is 1 million, like you want to write 5 million. Before you know it, investors will be expecting a profit of like 5 million, like not knowing that when you went to now get data and the rest like that, like you're not able to pay attention to some things. What am I trying to say? You're like the brain box of a project. You're like the brain box of a company. All those people that you like to drag on, they rug me, they do this project collapse, this project lawsuits, this project. You're the brain box. So you're the person that's going to be giving them advice on what to do. Like you're going to be like trying to show them what is happening, what is going on chain. You're working with numbers, like you're like a bank manager, right? Especially now, like in the DeFi space, in the NFT space, the Web3 space, there are a lot of money. I'm like, let me not even call like the amount I saw in somebody like in a project, and everything on the blockchain is transparent. Some people are transacting lots and lots of amounts of money every day. Okay, so whenever there's money, there's a kind of influence that comes with it. Whenever there's money, there's a kind of diligence that comes with it. Whenever there is money, there's like I feel like it's not just you getting paid or a project reposting you or you just getting a partnership or a job. It's much more than that. It's one day that you used to get a job now, but like it takes more to keep it. And that's why we're here to build capacity. This is not just for that's why I'm not shocked we have like few people on this call because of when you release a flyer, everybody just wants to first show face and the rest. But when it's now like, oh, what I'm learning is not just for like it's one thing to just get a airdrop and go. But now you're going to be the founders, like you're going to be the creators, like you're going to be advising founders, builders, creators, devs, governments. Some governments might even reach out to you. Want to launch this, want to partner with this. Can you check on prove their transactions, check their risks, what is happening, several other things like that. Okay, so beyond me just hyping people, calling people for class and the rest, this is not play. Oh. Why? Because of it's much more impact and it's not something to be scared about. Very simple. You like know your chart, you know your numbers. Like even though like you don't know, like can still cross check. We have a strong community here of people to help you. Me myself too. Let's even like help others, learn from others, several other things like that. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. Just you joining this webinar right now is going to inspire like a whole lot. It's going to like open up a whole lot of opportunities for you. Just you now try after this like the 2 days training. Those people that want to now register for the full course is going to like now open like a whole lot of you. I have people that already even paid their registration fee yet, and I'm yet to have a lot and lot of people have been entering my DM telling me how they've been looking for this opportunity. They tried themselves, it was confusing, lot and lot of things like that. But in just some few conversations, I've been able to break down certain complex content. I said it when I opened Dune like few years back, I ran away also too. I don't even really like understand several things, right? But right now, in some few weeks and the rest, I've been able to onboard people, show them what to do, and they're really growing in the space. All right. So it's just at the initial space, that's where you just need that push. At the initial stage, that's where you just need that somebody to hold your hands. All right. So like the 1 month training that is coming up, like it's more like a 1 month plus that's like 2 months training. That's when I'm going to be able to break more. There's a whole lot I want to say, but I just have 2 hours for this class, and the time is already 9:15. So in some few minutes we'll be wrapping up, but we want to start to write our queries right now. All right. So if like you can be a ambassador, a Sheila, a content writer, that does not stop you from learning this skill set because and just like I was trying to ask like Elry this Emit new was it Elry or who that was that? Okay, it was Elry now that he said like he saw a job description, like a project like needed like a mountain analyst, and he like had a question also. He said that every day he's seeing data from Web3 projects outside. Every function, different like data are like out there. But who is in charge of what this data? Who structures this data? Who knows what data to release and how to be able to like harness it? All right. So this is the skill set we are yet to learn, and that's why I'm just trying to introduce. So me is just like doing a introduction, like for the 2 months training that we're having. And those people that want to like register for the training can actually even enter my DM. I've already been seeing some people like I've done some other things with several people already. So this class is just to be able to show you a kind of a test drive. Are you sure this is for you? Am I sure this is the space you want to grow to? Do you know that you can be a leader, can be more than what you are? This year, just imagine the same skill set you have like last year. You're chasing a job, you're chilling, you're doing content. This 10 years is still the same thing. Not knowing that there's going to be a opportunity that is going to be like open for you like next month, next 2 months. It's not in that next 2 months you want to come and start to learn Dune Analytics. So like just like you now trying to prepare for war before heading into the battlefield. All right. So that's just a short motivation I'm giving here. Why? Because of I've seen people's journey. I've seen the possibility in this space. Me alone cannot analyze. If you know how many projects, I mean, me alone cannot analyze the whole block, like M3 blockchain and everything like that. That's why I have a passion. I have people that don't even send training, teaching. Their own is to do their work and get their job done and they are off. We have lots of analysts in the space. Like nobody takes time to sit down and be, what is Dune Analytics? Well, and have you submitted your project? Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done that? So like just for the like I've been a coach, a trainer, so I actually love helping people, and from that's how we created the herb analysis community, and from that's how we have been pushing, and we have lots and lots and lots and lots of testimony, and that's how we're through this community also too. We're still scaling more and more and more. My goal for this year is to be able to raise lots of on-chain analysis, because of when I saw the work, they said like once you run fast, you can run alone, but if you want to run far, you run with people, right? And that's why I'm here trying to build up the next leaders, the next on-chain analysts. Yes, so this is a more of a career, not just a short gig. So this is not just a short gig, you gig and you go. This is not just a pump and dump, you pump and you go. This is you becoming the ecosystem yourself. This is you becoming a strength, a think tank. All right, you're now a more of a business developer, right? In the sense that what strategies do we do? Is you to come to ask for strategies? Is you to come to ask for insight? Is you to come to ask you? So you're more of a question answering personnel, but you're not just answering from your head. You're answering from on-chain data. Okay, Ellery said is active. That's fine. More response. Those people that are on this call and they are ghosting. Okay, like I heard some people say they are in transit, and some people say they put food on fire. Cook for us. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's go to the query part. It's me and Annie Douglas that have been ghosting me. Annie Douglas, you are ghosting me. Don't worry. The proof that you're not ghosting is that.
I'm not ghosting.
Okay. She says she's not ghosting. Me, I did not hear your voice. What I will hear is when you send your project for me after this class. I've sent a link to how to join the Dune. I want to see a project from you on like Ethereum. That's the proof that you actually joined this class. Like I saw
I
your
actually
profile.
I did something that was some days ago, but then I
Oh,
was stuck at some point.
oh. Line I saw data analyst slash science slash media, some Kryptonian slash founder slash leader. I was like, okay, oh. So that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. So when you're done, just show me what you did. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. Okay. So let's go to the query part. So because of I don't want to start with the genesis of coding or how to write SQL queries, I sent a let me see which slide is showing now. Okay. So let me share. How can I share it? Okay. Let me share this tab. No, okay, not this tab. Okay, so let me share this blockchain data tab now. So if you notice, we want to query Ethereum data, and if you just scroll down, I dropped the code we're going to be using. So I don't hear, sir, any problem, sir, this. That's why all those charts I showed you, this is the code for the chart. All right. So this is what we are going to do right now. Let me share this. So how do we create a chart? You come over here to where we have create. Once you click create, we have create new query, create a new dashboard, upload a data set, submit a contract, API endpoint, and all that. So now, very simple, once you just go to new query. For the developers in the house, we know how the query language works. Like we have where we write our queries and we have where we get our output. So, okay, so let me just click this button to collapse this pane. All right, so like I just click the button here to collapse this pane. Then we have the data explorer here. So we have different types of data, curated data, lots and lots of explanation. Like if you check the docs, man, it's a whole lot, but I've been able to compress several things for us. Then we have my data, we have blockchain data. To be able to explain what's the difference between decoded data, raw blockchain data, but those are for people that are going to come for, because imagine hitting the whole blockchain space in just 3 days. It's not possible, right? So there's a whole lot of value that we're going to be sharing. So now, what we're supposed to do now is what is SQL, types of SQL statements, select from those people that know the Excel statement, fine. Many of us, this is our first time learning anything about data analysis. All right. So I'm not breaking all those concepts down. So what we need now, if you check the data analysis workflow, this is what you're going to do. You will come to where we have data, right? So I'm sharing my, please watch, this is a live class and I'm sure you're following my screen. So for the first objective we have, this is the query, right? So I can just copy this. This is my like Notion page. I've shared it all. So this is the code, and this is the code that I use for these dashboards you see. So this is the first dashboard, tracking Ethereum network what activity, right? So this is the first one we want to create. And I'm going to come to where I have my query editor. I'm going to now write my SQL query. But instead of that, since we are beginners here, I have to explain each of these codes to us. But imagine trying to explain several things. You must first know how to understand the queries before you know how to write them. How to query data, right? Let me first explain this interface before I'll fly. So this is where you will speak, just like the way you want to buy something from a store, right? You tell the person what you want. Okay, can you give me 10 cartons of this? All right, so this is where you speak the English. Can you give me 10 cartons of this, right? Okay, can you give me 10 cartons of this item, right? So this is where you write the English, and this is where the person will now reply you, right? So this is where you put your input, and this is where you get your output. Okay, so now what do you want to input? I said that what want to get, so I went to my Notion, I've copied my code there, and I've pasted my code already here. All right, so this is the language I'm telling the computer. I'm telling the computer that this select statement means the word, give me everything on the Ethereum blockchain. So the data is known as Ethereum transaction. If it's Solana, I'll write Solana depending on the blockchain. All right, so this is what I'm saying now. How did I get this Ethereum transaction? So what I'm saying that this is the data. So I'll come to here. I can search from Ethereum transaction. Okay, so it's going to show me all the transactions since Ethereum started since 2015. All the transactions till now. That's what is going to come out. So if like notice, we have different data for those people that are going to go for. That's where I'm going to explain a whole lot of this. So now, and as I said, this is a vital role, and you're going to need more knowledge to be able to understand it. So now this is the Ethereum transaction. So I want to now go to preview the table now. So just like before you want to buy something, you want to see it. So we have the block time transactions, the gas prices, and if you keep on scrolling, we have who sent the money, from the person that sent it to the person that got it, to the transactions, the data, the hash code, the type. We have lots of information just on what Ethereum. All right. So you can search for any project right here, and you can be able to get their data. But there's a whole lot of explanations over here. But our goal is just to run our query and visualize our chart. All right. So this select statement means that what, give me everything from the transactions, from the Ethereum blockchain, but not just everything. And I gave some filters where the block time is what, 30 days interval. I don't want just all the whole data. I just want 30, like the 30 days interval. Then we have group by the block time, order by the trunk date in ascending order. All those things are being explained on the code, which I'm still going to highlight on. But now, once I write the code, I have to come here to now run the code, right? So let's run it and see. So most times when you run a code, you're going to get an error. Sometimes you have a mistake, several other things like that. But let's see what we get here. Okay, so the code ran successfully, right? So we have like 31 rows that were shown. Let's see what we have here. So it's trying to load the code. Let me see. Okay, I have to expand the table so that we're going to see the output. Okay, so this is what we have here. and this is for the visualization. Let me reduce the length of this. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm trying to like I close the site. So I'm just trying to reduce the size since I zoom in. So this is a result of the query. Let me zoom out a bit so that we'll appreciate the analysis script. Okay, so that's fine. So this was the command I gave it, and this is the result. All right. So it gave me the data, but like notice I have what only 31 rows. Why? I told Dune to only give me for what 30 days what interval. So depending, the client might want you to give them for 90 days. The project might want to analyze their data for last year. So depending on what the description is, that is how you can be able to get the output. All right. So now, how do we now interpret the output now? This is the day the transactions took place, the transaction has, and once you still scroll down, there are more and more details on that. All right. So this is just you query. So this is the meaning of data querying. For lots of us trying to see this for the first time, like notice, let me share my Notion tab. Sorry about, I'm very fast now. Why? Because I'm trying to speak a lot about several aspects of things I've broken down already in the training program that is coming now, and several things. So I'm just trying to onboard you on to show you what is happening on the space. So now watch what I said. We have written what SQL queries on Ethereum data. All right. Now, want to understand the how the queries work. All right. And the last step is how to build and publish a Dune dashboard. All right. So now this is the query for the first. So this is the interface which we just used. We wrote like the data here, and the output was gotten from here. That's fine. Then now in this course outline, I showed you the key we use. This is the code we use. And this code measures the daily activities on Ethereum for what? 30 days, which I explained on the code. So this is how we query the data. Then at the end, we now create a what? A visuals. Just like what? You need data to create what? Visuals. So now, so back to the dashboard. So let's come over here. I'll click save. Once you save, they now give the query a name. Let me write new, but sometimes you just give it the name of your analysis, right? So as what I called like the other one now, Ethereum transaction analysis. So let me just write it trans analysis. All right. Once I write this down, I'll now click what? Save. Okay. So now watch. Is right now that the query has been saved. Why do I need to save the query? Because of now, I want to create a dashboard. I want to turn this, my analysis, to visuals. So I'll come back to where I have the create section. I'm over here now. We have the create section over here. I'll come to create. So now we have seen how to create a new query, but now want to see how we can create a new dashboard. So I'll say create a new dashboard. Now they're asking me for the name of my dashboard. Okay, I'll now rename it what? It trans dashboard, but like I give it a more descriptive name for those people that are going to be running it, right? I'm just trying to show you what like we can do about it. Okay, so you must be able to give it a name that you can remember, and also since this is going to be public, right? You want to also have a name that others can be able to what understand. So in each trans analysis, right? A short name. Then I will not click what? Save and open. So if you see what they are showing me here, what? This dashboard is what? Is empty. Click to add a content. All right. So this is where we now come to the editing of the dashboard phase, in the sense that now I'll click the edit button here. Once I click the edit button, we have two options: add widget, add visualization. I'll come to add widget. So this widget is like the title of your dashboard, right? So Ethereum transactions information. So let me just make this the name. So I'm going to click here. So if you notice now, I've been able to create a heading or a title. All right, but notice this is not really present like like just showing Ethereum transaction information. But like notice once I click this edit button, like not to use GitHub, like the markdown language. So this is where we will show you how some several codes you can use to edit your transactions. So now to make this one bolder now, you have to use two hashtags, just normal code stuff and the rest like that. You use two hashtags to make it bolder. I'm not okay. I not save it, so it's not reflecting. Okay. So those are just so now you can see it's much more bolder. So there are lots of editing takes place. So I can like just make this my heading, and now to get a visualization, I'll come to here, add visuals. So for you that you're just starting, you might just see only one table. That's for what? Ethereum transaction analysis. So that's the last table. So before you create a chart, you must have what? Data. All right. Just like you cannot cook a empty pot. There must be something inside the pot, right? So I will now click the add button. Sorry, I just pressed it, but you can just so I just pressed it and it took me back to the table, trying to show me that am I sure this is the data you want to query? But now that I know about it, yes, that's the data I want to query now. I have to go back to it now. So just to show us a recap again. All right. This is very simple, not really, really complex, as we know, right? Don't worry, I'm just trying to be a bit fast. So when we're trying to recap, we're still going to speak on several other things like that. So like, I want to just break some things down and just work on it. So for the visuals part, let me just take that again. So for the new visuals now, you just write here, put a name. I think I've done that. Just put a name, save and open. Then the dashboard is empty. You click your edit, add your widget, each transaction, Ethereum transaction. You click save. But since we're using Markdown language, when you use two hashtags, it makes it bolder, and we have several presets over there. So once you're done, you can now drag and drop. So like trying to build the visuals is very, very easy. So once I'm done that's fine. I'll click add visuals. And I have various visuals I've used, but this is the one I want. I'll not just click it. I'll come to what? Add, right? So once I click add now, then I can say, okay, let want to have a new dashboard. I can click new, but I'll just come here. I'll not click done. So this is what I have here. I have a table, right? Why? Because of the data I had was in a tabular format. So with this now, I've been able to query my data. I've been able to give it a heading. I've been able to query out the result. But now, what if we want a chart? Okay, why this is trying to show a table is because we have a table here. But what if I wanted a chart, right? So I'll just click back to query result. So if I wanted a chart now, let me go back to this to break this down very simple. Okay. So if I wanted a chart now, I'll come over here to new. So this is the same place we queried our data. Like I don't want my screen to be too full of various things. Let me reduce several things for you guys. Okay, let me even close this one. Don't worry about the code. I will teach you how to write the codes and other things in the training, what different code stands for and all that. So, but now it's just to show you the experience. Very straightforward. Don't worry about I'm going back and forth. So now this is a table. That's why the visual is showing a table. But now I want a pie chart, right? Let me use a bar chart. I'll come here, I'll click a bar chart, and you see it's loading and it gives me what? A bar chart. If I want a pie chart, I'll come here, I'll click pie chart. So somebody might ask, sir, when do we use bar chart? When do we use pie chart? When do we use that chart? I have a whole lot of notes on that, which I'm still going to be, for those people that are going to work with me, I'll be able to show you more and more and more and more. So this is the chart. All right. So now that we have the chart, I can be able to now edit the chart, right? But this format is how you can make your chart, change the color, the height, the width, x-axis, y-axis. So that's where we're going to be able to work on the chart, right? So Then I can now take this my chart back to my dashboard now, right? Okay, so this is the query result. Let me show the bar chart. So we have the bar chart, this is the pie chart. So everything is just there. All right. So this is now the chart like you can now use on your analysis now. So if you check my let me share my notion. So that is the same chart you're seeing right here. This like the same way I just did that. That was the same way I put this heading. Then if you now scroll down for all these codes and all these charts we created, right? For all this code and the charts we created, these are the dashboards. Why? We just went there, we put our chart that we're going to write it up. So let's do more of that. But before that, I went to my profile, my library, right? I clicked my library, right? I went to my creations. So this was the last visuals we just created, right? And I clicked on it. Thank you. So then, and I went to edit, and then I said add visualization. Then now, and I added the bar chart we just created. I clicked what added. Once I clicked added, this was what we have now. And I have the bar chart here. So this one is much more easier. You can drag your bar chart over. You can make it smaller. You can make it how you actually want it to be. Okay. So I'm thinking this chart has gone upside down now. Okay. So that's fine. So I can now extend the chart to the way I actually want to. All right. So this is just based on you. Like notice the first project we saw, the chart was just one table, one this, one that, right? But when the building now started, you can add more charts based on your analysis again. So let us do one more. Like I have to wrap up soon by 10 o'clock. It's just a 2 hours class for this day 2 now. And my goal is to show you how to query data and how to visualize. So let's add one more visual so that we can call it a class. So let me go back to the transactions again. Let me query another data. So for each dashboard, you need a new query, right? For each dashboard, you need a new query. So let me go back to my Notion. Let me share this tab instead. So I've dropped the second query for us here, for those people that are following. So this is the query we have here, right? We just get the query. But for you to be able to query data, you must be able to understand the data. So let me share this tab now. So I've gotten my query, but for the sake of this class, we're just going to paste it. All right. Why it's important to know how to query it is in case you're working for a particular project, right? You need to be able to pay attention to several details that you're going to be working with, since these are going to be decision making or content creation or research work. So this is my query. I say select all the info. Oh, okay, I think is this the same? Okay, I think I got the same data for the first one. Okay, yes, I think so. I got it right. Okay, so that's fine. Let me copy the next query we have here. All right. So this is the query we have here. Let me paste it. Okay, let me paste it. That's fine. So now, what is this query saying? I'm saying select from as sender from the Ethereum transaction. So we're still using the same transaction, but now we want to group it by and limit it to just 10 people. So this what this query is saying that we want to get the top 10 transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. Top 10 transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. I'll now come here, I'll now run it. Sometimes it takes time for your code to run based on the various the amount. That's I've noticed. I'm limiting it just to 10. If you say 1,000 now like this, Dune Analytics will show you some functions. Like if you check here, this they have some place whereby you can buy their coins to be using for faster or larger complex query. This is an introductory class, so we're using simple queries. So now we have told the computer the information, and it has brought us the results, right? So the senders and the transaction amount. So since we said 10, it only brought out only what? Only 10 for us, all right? So now let's create a visual. Let me use a line chart for this. So like a line chart, we don't really give up, but let me use an area chart. I think, yeah, like the area chart is better, right? So this is the chart we want to use. This chart is showing the top 10 transactions. So like I can just look for various charts. Like I want to use a scatter chart, which is not really ideal for this project. There are various ways in which we use charts. All right. So let us go with the area chart, which we have here already, right? Then what is the next thing? Once you're done, your query is not yet saved. You will come here, query. Let me just call this area chart, okay? And I will now save my query. All right. So once I've saved my query now, I will now go back to my library. All right. Go back to my creations, then come back to my visual. Then I want to now add the visualization I just queried. Right. I'm going to add it over here. So how do we do it? You go to edit, add visualization, search for your line chart. I called it line chart. Okay, I called it area chart. So I'm going to, sometimes from the name, you know that, okay, this is what I queried. I've added it. I'll now click what's done. So what is the area chart? This is where I have the area chart. All right. So I want to give more explanation to each of my charts. That's when I'll now add a text widget. All right. So what the text? This is a bar chart. And I'll now click save. Okay. So once you scroll down, you now see what we have, the explanation of this chart, right? So I can just move it the way I want it and structure it the way I want it. So what I'm showing you that was the way I was able to create this project that we posted. Like if you check our page now, I got a feedback from the Dune African community on this project I did. Yeah, so this was for like the Ethereum, and I think it's already like I shared this project with most of us on X. So this was the same way I was able to query this data, but this is much more extensive and several other things like that. So this is the after, the query part is the before. So if you check now, I've been able to share the code, the explanation, but this is beginner. We have lots of blockchain protocols. We have lots of breakdown. We have lots of things to be able to understand. But now these are the three things like I wanted us to focus on. The first thing is that how the query system works, how you can write the SQL queries, how we can now build and publish the 5 KPIs. All right. And I now broke it down that, okay, Ethereum is one of the busiest blockchain in the world. People always talk about gas fee adoption and like the activity, right? And now the class project was how we can get Ethereum data. I told you guys about it. Now I've explained about the Dune interface also too. I said that this is where you're going to put in your query. This is where you get your data, and this is where you're going to see your results and build your visuals, right? Then I now drop the code and the explanation for each of them. The purpose is to show the daily activity on Ethereum. It shows if the activity is rising or falling. It shows if someone is using Ethereum. And I dropped like the attachment of the fixed dashboard over here, right? So this was the dashboard that was built using Dune. I've dropped the link with us. And I also dropped a link for the picture. For those of us trying to add the picture, I said the link to the picture and all that. All right.